続き。Yo, this is Bodega.
This is Keino.
And this is the last episode of the Bodega Store Podcast. Well, God knows what can happen in the future. But for the foreseeable future, I'm not doing this shit no more. This shit is pointless. I don't see no point in doing it.
Shit, man. Why do you feel that way? Why do you feel that way?
Well, I just think the people I've been doing the podcast with are just generally not as committed to the podcast or / don't have enough dedication or / just the amount of work that it takes or the commitment that it takes is something that they cannot do. I say that the last one means is like it's nothing particularly against the podcast. It's just level of commitment that it takes to make something successful like a podcast. Just it's not something your typical person in the early 20s can do. I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but and on top of that is I'm not really upset at nobody personally because nobody wanted to. Everybody, I'm the only one that takes the podcast 100% seriously. Everybody does the podcast because either I talked them into it or to help me out. So it's because Jason needs my help, so I'm gonna help him with the podcast. Second, I want to do the podcast. It should be first. I want to do the podcast to be successful. Second is to help me out. And the podcast has been growing. How long have we been doing this? 3 years? You feel that it has grown?
I don't know if it should have.
Exactly.
Or it could have.
Exactly. That's one of the points. Like I feel like we're taking steps back. So I feel like the podcast is never taking a step forward. So what's the point of doing it? I still believe that the podcast can generate $1 million of revenue within a year, with no time. Within the last 3 years, I feel like this podcast should be on its way to generating $1 million of revenue per year.
Yeah, I'll be honest, bro. You've definitely been doing a lot more research.
Yeah.
Than any of us, especially me, when it comes to podcasts. Mm-hmm. Because you have to break that down to me.
$1 million of revenue?
Yeah, like how, from where? Like,
from how, from where? I always said this. You never asked me. You made it seem like you always said, of course,
you glossed over it, but you never went into detail.
Oh, easy. Multiple ways. From ads, from YouTube, from tours, from merch, from deals. That can all generate $1 million. $1 million to a property to generate $1 million of revenue a year. It's not that much. $1 million sounds like a lot, but
I don't know.
Well, on his way to that, I never said how long it would take, but I say on his way to that, it could make it. It can do it.
I know it could do it. I don't know the time frame, but I know it's a possibility. But my thing is like, the reason why it's hard to see those numbers is I don't know any I can't think of any podcasters that like all they do is the podcast. Like they're just known for doing the podcast.
That you know personally?
No, not personally. Like
just podcasts in general.
Yeah, like popular podcasts in general, like successful podcasts.
Well,
they live off that shit.
But why does that have to be the only thing you do?
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is most of the popular podcasts that I've heard of or I know people listen to,
yeah,
they're known for like some other shit, and they just went into, all right, I'm gonna record a podcast because I have this following.
There's a couple of other people who are known for just having a podcast being known for doing a podcast.
Do you listen to them?
No, I don't listen to H3H3. I don't listen to Harsh Decisions.
And how long have they been doing it?
They've been doing it for a while. Joe Rogan's probably the best example. Even though he done other stuff outside of that,
bro, that's a terrible example.
How is it a terrible example?
Nigga, he's a UFC fighter. He does comedy. He used to be on the Chappelle Show. Like, come on, bro.
But when you're right about all those points, but like he said himself, when he started doing the podcast, only 200 people listen. That's not a lot. Okay,
so you started off with 200 people.
Started off with 200 people. I think we're not far away from 200 people listening. 200 people is not a lot.
It's not a lot, but how long did it take?
10 years, bro. That's not fair. That's not fair because I don't feel like we were all dedicated to it. I don't think we all took it seriously. And my argument to that is fair. That's understandable because this is what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
So it's just not fair to me to push what I want onto you guys. But at the end of the day, I don't feel like everybody, for the reasons that I just said, didn't put all into it. And you admitted the other day you didn't even post the clips.
Yeah, bro, that shit, it's not even on my mind. It doesn't register. It doesn't even click until I sometimes see it because you don't always tag me. I sometimes see the clip.
I got tired of.
I was like, all right.
I got tired of it. Like, you come on. At this point, it's like.
I think one time, once or twice, I used this app on my phone to like download it because you didn't put it in the chat anymore.
Yeah, so
I just
I gave up.
I was like, fuck it. I downloaded it off an app just to post on my story. I was like, damn, I feel like I'm doing a lot, but fuck it. Downloaded it.
You just
because I didn't want to ask you for it. It felt weird.
Why?
For the reason. I just thought about all the times. It's like, you're not going to post it anyway. What's the point? Let me just download it and post it. But even then, it's like, I didn't even always see it. I might see it accidentally because I watch your story or the podcast page story.
Yeah, so there's no purpose. If people cannot coming in last minute or whatever, or a week, or I don't think we ever gone like 3 months or even 2 months without listening, without like out of nowhere, we can't record, we can't release, and then you lose people like that.
Bro, I get everything you're saying, but I feel weird in this whole thing because it's like I see value in a podcast, and I really didn't want you to quit it, but the way I felt about it never really changed in the sense for like I'm still not like big on the idea of being on a podcast, but like I said, I see the value in it. I think it's dope. I listen to some clips and like it's funny, but I mean, shit. My original reason for coming on board was to help you out because you didn't have another co-host that you were cool with, like had chemistry with and all that, and also like. I got tired of saying no.
Yeah. But yeah, that's perfectly fine. Like, I don't think anyone's particularly wrong. But like, why am I gonna keep?
I think the only thing that's been done in the past that's like wrong, or like no shows, or like canceling last minute, shit like that. But aside from that,
yeah. So
I don't know, man.
I don't really see the point of continuing it.
My personal
I think
opinion,
100 episodes is a good number to end it on.
My personal opinion, I feel like you should take a break, but like I don't think you should quit it.
Well, who am I gonna do it with? I don't feel like doing interview-based podcasts.
You don't feel?
Cause I gotta look for people to interview. That's a working in itself.
I feel like it can be done.
I don't mind putting episodes out like somebody like once in a while here and there, but
it can be done, but it's a matter of like, do you want it to be like a consistent thing or a thing that's done once in a while?
I don't mind doing it every once in a while here and there, but that's not. If it's done once in a while, I don't see it growing that much. And then then I can see it slowly fading away. I don't mind doing it here and there, as it comes, but like,
shit,
because to have it to be that I don't have to look for people just come to me. I have to doing it consistently for a while. So that way I could just, and even if you
have to just go out, bro.
Well, again, like I got shit on my plate.
You gotta just go out. Like
I can't just go out
for no reason. Just like, oh, this event's happening.
I can't just go.
It's gonna be cool.
But it's easy to say that. Now I can go out. Like, come on, man. I was homeless like 6 months ago. Like, give me a fucking break.
Oh man.
Like I was literally sleeping in TD Bank. Literally.
Yeah, that would have been a great ad.
So there's no point in me doing the podcast. I don't feel like nobody listens. I could tell nobody listens because I'll be saying the wildest shit about people, and then the next day, like, yo, what's up? How's the podcast? It's amazing.
So what's up? You got other modes of therapy now? Is that it?
No.
Why you laugh?
Because why are you assuming it's therapy? It was never supposed to be therapy.
You literally said that.
It was never meant to be.
You said you do this like it's like a.
Your niggas don't speak.
Huh?
The only episodes you guys ever spoke up was like those few episodes that was all four of us. And no, I didn't invent. I just led the podcast in direction. But I know
Fuck whatever was said. I'm talking about what you said about what the podcast is to you.
it's therapeutic, but it doesn't mean like I guess it's therapeutic. It should be therapeutic for all
So
three.
you get your thoughts out. You at one point you said this shit is a diary for you, like to document shit.
'Cause it was never meant to be that way, but I'll be the only one that opens up. So it turned into that.
So you got me thinking like wow, I don't open up. Like
Yeah, so that's literally what I just said.
yeah, man, I thought I was pretty open.
No, nigga, you tell me shit months after. And niggas be like, yo, Jason, you never open up. Like, yeah, niggas are hypocrites.
This is a difference.
How's the difference?
The shit that you would say I don't open up about, it isn't life changing.
But that's not fair. I go through life-changing events on a daily basis.
It's a life. It's not really that like.
Nah.
It's shit that happens. It's like well that was yesterday and today's today.
I go through life-changing events daily. That's not fair. Oh, I went through another traumatic experiences? Oh, well.
So your way of downplaying it is by saying that it happens so often that it almost doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Selfish motherfucker.
I'm not being selfish. Yeah, the podcast just gotta be important to everybody to be successful. Because ideally, everybody just comes, talks, and leaves. And it's fine if it's not important because you could argue I force it upon people. But then what's the point of continuing it for? Look at that bullshit that Spike just put in the group chat right now.
I'll be honest. I feel like I'm the main person that applies to.
Why?
Myself, and then maybe Spike second.
Yeah.
Because he preaches, like a lot of the stuff that's discussed on the podcast, he preaches about constantly. And he's a talker. He's like one of those quiet dudes that likes to talk. We have to talk to him to learn that about him.
Yeah.
So I feel like that mainly applies to me because like.
What do you mean?
Because at least with
what I'm saying?
Yeah, because at least with Kuma, he came to you.
Nah, that don't count. Because Kuma doesn't go out if you treat this shit like a job, you gotta look at current events and topics. Kuma doesn't do that. So Kuma will come on the podcast and don't know shit what's going on in the world. For you, I don't have to send out a topic list. We just come here and just talk about what happened. Kuma, I have to send a topic list. And Kuma, you said that this is a topic. Kuma, I got more work and responsibility than all three of you guys put together. If I don't put the list of topics out, nigga, get it on your own. It's not hard. I got man shit on my plate. The topic is just Google entertainment news and whatever happened. It's probably what we're gonna talk about. Literally the five and I remember when Georgia was on the podcast. And she would talk about stuff. She would come with notes and shit like that. And then that's when I realized, what I'm asking for is not a lot. Because she so easily surpassed what I wanted. When she came on the podcast, I realized, I really wasn't asking for a lot. I really was asking for the bare minimum of knowledge about. What I'm really asking for you is just.
That's true, but.
I'm asking you.
You're using her as an example, and she's someone who wanted to be on the podcast.
Yeah. But again, that goes back to my point. You guys didn't really want to.
And also, too, I can't speak too much on that. So at one point, you took my phone and you followed a bunch of random pages.
Yeah.
So I naturally, I see the posts of these pages.
But I'll keep it a buck with you. A lot of things I want you guys to do for the podcast, I don't see you guys doing it for yourselves, in my opinion.
Listen, I'll speak for myself and say, I'm aware of that.
Yeah,
oftentimes I go out of my way to do it. Sometimes people tag me and shit. I don't repost it.
Yeah, so it's
I got matched on my phone. I could post. I don't post it.
Honestly, all that shit. I wouldn't even mind on that shit if all y'all niggas just show up.
I don't.
If all y'all
right now, when was the last time you saw me post on social media?
I don't remember.
Exactly. Me neither.
But if I don't even mind on that. If all y'all niggas can just show up consistently for a year, I wouldn't even care about none of that stuff.
I feel like recently, the best thing that I've been able to keep up with is just showing up on time.
Yeah, so it's I realize
the topics that's brought up, and that's about it. Even some of the albums that we discussed before, I never used to listen to any of that shit.
Yeah.
Recently, I actually go out of my way to listen to albums.
That's good. I see you doing that and you're changing and stuff like that. But I feel like it's too many steps backwards.
Fuck you, man.
It's it's too many steps backwards.
When you first brought it up, I guess I was more so focused on myself and less on the collective. because I was working on like how I can change some of the things you spoke on prior.
Yeah.
For myself, but not like for other people. Like when you said like when you mentioned some of the stuff like
Yeah.
the outside factors that I didn't really have influence on.
Like what? Like other people?
Last minute cancellations.
Yeah. Should just
people not showing up, no questions asked.
And I remember I had this one time I told you like every time like the dynamic of the podcast changes from one episode to it's low key starting from zero.
Yeah, you did. It makes sense.
You're starting from zero because there's one person that listens to the podcast just because Spike is on it. Oh, Spike is on this episode? I'm not listening to it anymore. And then now that person, even though Spike came back, that person's gone. That's it. He's attention somewhere else. So now we just lost like another person.
You know, I know that. I know for a fact that's true because, like, one of the what was it? The last time that I stopped being on the podcast, one or two people DM me like, "Oh, what you up to today? You recording a podcast?" I said, "Nah, I'm not really on it anymore." And it was just like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, so that shit's dubbed now.
One less person.
Yeah, so that's just like that's why there's no consistent growth to it. I had a lot of shit going on in life that also didn't help, but I just maybe in a couple of years from now, when I feel like everybody's like, yo, I want to do it. I feel like when everybody like could take shit more serious. So, because all four of us, I'm the only one that feels like I'm in a more of a do or die situation than everybody. So
do or die.
Yeah. So like, if I don't get this shit done right now, just life wise, if I don't get this shit, like I just literally went, I said it again, like sleeping on the streets.
Oh yeah, maybe I don't feel like going to work today.
Yeah, like I have the drive, like to.
1 week later.
Yeah. Or.
SpongeBob joke.
Oh, but we mean not going to work.
No, it's like the joke is like one day, like say you have work, right? You work full time. So you're just like, oh, I don't feel like going to work today. And it'll be a catalyst of shit like, oh, your boss starts complaining, then it becomes a consistent thing, then you get fired.
Yeah.
You don't have money to pay rent.
Oh.
And then you're like outside the apartment.
But
yeah, you missed the joke. You didn't watch no SpongeBob growing up.
I get it, it's just not funny. But
you just wanted to say that. Fuck out of here, man.
But that's just it. I don't see no real drive to make the podcast successful. Maybe because they don't want to do it, so I don't see the point of keep doing it. I'd rather just us have that Sunday free. So everybody can do what they want to do. You can do more shoots or relax. I could do more shoots. Spike can enjoy his social life.
I don't like how you make it seem like. I'll speak for myself. I don't like how you make it seem like you're releasing me type shit.
That's what it feels like.
We could have left. Like I could have been left.
It feels like that a little bit, but part of me too, for myself, I don't have to do this no more.
I feel like a lot of how you feel. I don't know if it rubbed off on you or what. I feel like you literally didn't want to do it because you used to show up and say, "Damn, this feels like work. I don't want to edit this."
It does feel like
it's kind of weird too, cause like, bro, we at your crib, like.
It does feel like work, cause it is part of it is work.
It is work, but at the end of the day, it's like, bro, like this.
No, what it is? I was on episode 90 something, right? And I looked at the views, and I'm like, yo, this shit literally went from 100 a week to like back to like 20, 30 a week. In 10 days, we get like 30 listens on one episode, and that's not even checking how long they stay for it. I'm not even checking out the retention rate. So they can only be those people that listen to it can only be listening for the first 10 minutes, or even the first 5 minutes, and you just be clicking off. So and then I'm thinking about Spike, and then all the issues throughout the years, constantly off and on. Does it really make sense to continue it?
I feel like you. I'm laughing to myself because I just find it funny how often you bring up Spike.
Well, I could bring up Kuma just as much, but
you don't want to.
What's the point?
Like Spike's influence on it is very recent.
Yeah,
fresh and like you're still kind of petty over it.
Yeah, it's easier.
I can
Kuma's
tell.
like, do you really gotta bring that shit up again? Do I really gotta dig in a crate for that? That's work. That's so deep down the crate. Like,
Oh man.
Kuma's the nigga went like, I don't want to do the podcast. Yo, somebody said I can make money from the podcast, so let's do the podcast.
But already,
So
I thought about all that shit, man. It still didn't make me more excited about the podcast.
nah, because at the end of the day, you gotta enjoy doing the podcast itself.
Bro, I'm not a talker. I feel like this shit.
No, but that's
brought
what
me out of my comfort zone.
it did. It helped. I feel like it. So, but that's why low key I like having all four of us. So that way, not all of us have to talk all the time. We just do our
When it's all
inputs.
four of us, I probably just talk the least. I'm just here.
That's nah. You had input when it was all four of us.
Yeah, but I still spoke the least.
It's fine. I'm not expecting you to be out here talking the most. Just make sure your presence is known, and that's good enough for me. Nah, I don't remember when it was all four of us. You spoke. That's it. You reacted to what other people were saying. That's it. That's all. That's perfectly fine. But it's not gonna grow. It's not gonna be successful. I remember we were supposed to do a shoot for the podcast. Kuma said I'm not leaving my house. He said why? Because it's raining. I'm like, nigga.
The one who never uses an umbrella.
I mean, like, yo, the shoot is inside a bodega. Like, I don't understand why it doesn't matter that it's raining outside.
Is that the day I came with all my equipment?
I think that's the day prior.
I'm like, yeah, at work. Never mind.
So I just don't see the point. Like, I don't see the point. Like, that's really the issue. Is if everybody could just show up, record the podcast,
I'll be honest, man.
consistent. That's really the
I
thing.
sacrificed a lot of my like time and plans and shit. Not because I wanted to be on a podcast, but mainly because I didn't want to see you quit doing the podcast. But what I didn't think about was the fact that I'm not the only variable or factor with it.
Yeah.
Cause you talking about other shit, and I was mostly focused on, all right, what can I do to make sure this show keeps going on? Like, that's really it. Maybe that wasn't the best thing, looking at it from a distance, but
Yeah.
that's how it was for me. I just didn't want you to quit doing it because I knew how much like you wanted shit to work, and my thought process too was like, you know, after like the 10th time you asking me about the shit, and I didn't ignore you. Like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, like, why not? I can't think of any reasons why not.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So, yeah, that's really it. So, honestly, I'm not even gonna, like, keeping this thought to myself. I hope this is just a break and not just, like, a permanent thing.
If it's a break, it'd probably be a break for a year and a half, for 2 years.
A year and a half is mad.
I don't see this being a break. Like, I'm like, yo, look at that bullshit somebody put in the group chat.
I
Yo,
don't look at that shit right now, man.
that shit is, oh, dang, yeah, you popular. I forgot.
Nigga, what? Nigga, I ain't popular.
Shit.
I'm not popular, bro.
Yeah, that bullshit is like put in the group chat. And like group, it has to be a consistent
Look
group
at
of
it
people, like just grinding away. And you know what it is too? We have to enjoy it too. I feel like deep down inside, come just traveling out here. It shouldn't have to feel like a sacrifice. And that's the problem. Everybody feels like, oh my God, I gotta go out of my way to do this shit.
Bro, I definitely do, bro.
Yeah, nobody feels like, yo, I'm looking forward to talking on the
You hit me
podcast
up
today.
for shit like, nah, I can't. I gotta do podcast.
Yeah, it should be like, yo, I'm going to the podcast. I'm gonna talk about what happened. I'm gonna enjoy myself. None of you guys sound like that. So the grind of doing the podcast should make it easier, and that should make it like, oh, it's like the success come from it. But if everybody's like, sounds like, oh, this here's a hassle for me, why would it ever be successful?
Shit, man.
It's not gonna be successful until everybody enjoys it, until everybody who's a part of it enjoys doing it.
Listen, I definitely looked at it as a job, but definitely not one of those jobs I enjoyed commuting to.
Exactly, too. Like every time we talk about it, you don't even talk about like the topic. You just talk about the commute. That's it. I'm like, yo, what do you feel about this podcast? The commute. I'm like, yo, bro, I get that, but I mean, what's your favorite part about it? Yo, like when we record the podcast, that's not work. What do you mean? It is work, the commute. But yeah, I'm talking about the time we're recording.
Trips, but I need you to understand that like there's nothing else that I do on a weekly or even a monthly basis that takes that long for me to get to.
That's fine.
That's really like, bro. You might not get it because like for whatever reason, maybe you used to going up to what's that place you used to go to? I don't know, bro. But like, also too, like we met up on the weekend, and you know how fucked everything.
Yeah,
is
the
on
trains be
weekend.
fucked up because it takes you an hour on the
Shit
weekday.
says an hour and a half, and then it ends up being 2 hours plus.
On the weekday, it'd be like an hour.
Nah,
It'd be shorter.
a weekday it's like an hour and a half on average. Weekends is like 2 hours plus because you know delays and shit. I gotta get off the train, whatever. But that's why I couldn't relate when I heard like anybody else complaining, because most of everybody else has ever been on the podcast. Correct me if I'm wrong.
It's from the Bronx, yeah.
Always from the Bronx or uptown.
Yeah.
If not the Bronx, uptown. I was always that one motherfucker from Brooklyn, except for that one dude from Crown Heights. I remember him.
What the dude from Crown Heights?
One that did fashion and music and shit. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. But yeah. Yeah, man. So of course at a certain point it's like, yeah, it's sacrifice.
Yeah.
More sacrifice than
but you gotta, if you don't enjoy it, then there was a point. So it's whatever.
Listen,
it is what it is. Hey, at least I can say I did 100 of something.
fuck it, it's still marketable.
Yeah, I'm not gonna take it down. I'm gonna leave it up there. I'm still gonna be in my bio. I'm still gonna leave the link in my bio. I'm not gonna take down the page or anything down. Let me just leave it there. I might still promote it too. Tell them I had a podcast and put them on the YouTube channel.
Shit, I still planned on sending it out.
Yeah, it's 100 episodes, man. Enjoy yourself, like. And you have 100 episodes of pure content. You have enough episodes to listen to one episode a week for 2 years. You good. Or if you have enough content to listen to 2 episodes every week for a whole year, so there's enough content. They'll be all right. We won't be missed.
To be honest, too, I think regardless of whatever happened, I could be wrong, but like I saw like if this podcast was to like ever get signed or a deal or some shit like that, I always saw the name getting changed.
Why?
Bro, Bodega Store Podcast, bro, like you know what I mean?
Hmm?
It's like 2 other podcasts with that.
That's so.
That name, man.
I don't mean shit.
Can you even LLC that?
Hmm?
That was my first thought. Can you even LLC that?
But to LLC something, I could just LLC. I could put anything. It could be Jason Serrano. I could just put this under the LLC.
Bro, I get that, but
Doesn't really matter. Like it could be plenty of things with similar names that's out there. It doesn't really matter.
you're gonna have to add an extra S or some bullshit.
Not for my name.
Huh?
No, I just put my name. I could put Serrano LLC and just put the Bodega Store Podcast underneath this.
Nah, I wouldn't. I don't think that's allowed, to be honest.
Yeah, you could do.
To use your name.
Your last name, yeah. I said LLC.
Last name, yeah. Full name, nah.
No, I said Serrano. I said Serrano LLC.
Well, first you said Jason Serrano.
Oh yeah, I just said something.
Yeah.
But Serrano
I definitely
LLC.
read that shit. It said not to do that.
No, but I could do Serrano LLC and just put my last and just put the thing under there.
Probably have to spell it different.
Yeah, and then my main issue is then doing business with people. Because if I feel a lot of people not putting in the effort and the work into it, I feel like that's going to be a whole conversation. And even when I had a conversation with Spike about that, and he went like, "Oh yeah, of course it's not making no money, but if it does make money, then people." And I went, "Whoa. See, that's where you got it fucked up. If it does make money, it's too late to be saying, "Oh, I could do this, I could do that." No, that's it. It's too late to that. Because it's like, what are you saying? It's too late for that. That should have been done beforehand. Like, because the time the money comes in, like, somebody's already been doing that. And the person who's been doing that's going to get paid. Like,
Shit,
oh, the money comes in, so now you want to be active on the social media? No, nigga.
Okay, Joe Budden.
You know, I was listening to the whole Joe Budden thing. I understand where Joe Budden came from, 100%. Like, when he was saying, like, he didn't feel like the other 2 guys didn't put enough into the podcast, I understand exactly what he meant. Because I would listen to as someone who listens to the podcast regularly, and listen. A lot of stuff that Joe was saying, I understand how he felt. Because he was saying, like, what do you guys do to make this podcast successful? And then he goes, like, Mo, you're a very stylish person, but you do nothing with our merch. You don't help out with the merch. Why is that? That don't make no sense. You dress fly. Why don't you help out with the merch?
You said that?
Yeah. And I understand how it feels.
What about Rory?
I don't know. I think that's specific about Ray. But so like, or he'll be like, he'll always try to have Mo do his own show, but Mo never wanted to do a show. Now with Joe, he's doing all his own shows. Joe's probably like, yo, if you did your own shows while you was on the podcast, you probably would have added more value to the podcast. But you never wanted to do your own shows.
Yeah. Shit, man.
Yeah. So I understand how you
still listen to it?
The Joe Budden podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still listen to it.
Oh, man.
So
that's about it. I mean, I'm a little disappointed. I wish we could have heard input from, the names you've been saying the past however so minutes, but
I'm not even surprised, man, because even the first episode was me by myself.
shit.
People are also very bad at doing something consistently for a long period of time. People always talk about going to the gym, but after like 2-3 weeks they stop. They like the other podcasts, like
Can't say nothing. That's easier than
the other podcasts. I don't know how that shit stopped.
even talk to them anymore.
Yeah, casually in the DMs. I don't know how. Like they said, we couldn't make it one day, so we switched it to the next day. One person said they can't do it. And Friday was coming. I was like, yo, nobody's hit me up yet to see if I can record. And I thought to myself, yo, let's see what happens if I don't say anything. Will they still? Nobody said anything. I was like, fuck it.
It's just tricky, man.
I just keep pushing it.
There's too many variables.
Yeah, that's what. And people just, yeah, but not really surprised. Yeah, it's no. That way, everybody has their Sundays to themselves to do what they want to do. So that way, people don't have to be like, yo, I gotta rush out of here.
I don't fucking like how you talking about this shit, man.
And I'm like, all right, bye. We got to do the promo clip. I don't even actually got to do the promo clip no more. I'm like, all right, it's cool. Those shits be helping. All that shit I be asking you guys to do, all that shit be helping.
Bom, bom, bom.
Hey, whatever. It is what it is. Anything else to say? Nothing to say to me.
Alright, now we're done with all that heavy shit.
I wasn't really heavy, but
it was a little bit, but shit was still fun. It's like once I got over the commute, start talking and a topic came up that was good and funny or whatever.
like the ocean going on fire.
No comment. Yeah, there was a lot of fun moments, a lot of good laughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
I don't see. I just certain things needs to be like. You know what it also is too. I feel like I'm in a different stage of life than everybody else is, for personal reasons.
well, no shit.
Like me and Spike, are the closest to being in the same stage of life. The difference between me and Spike, because of his job, he gets paid like he did it the quote unquote correct way. He stayed home, graduated college, and then college got a job, and his job pays him very well. So ideally, he doesn't have to worry about rent.
Not even that. He's done with school.
He's done with school. He don't got to worry about rent. So everything.
He left his hometown.
Left his hometown. Man, what's to do anything?
I feel like that's a normal thing to do. Leave your hometown for work.
Yeah.
Shit, I just got a text earlier about a fucking going away party.
Yeah, it's normal. But even because Spike just don't naturally have the pressure to perform. It's not really a do or die situation. Even if he does fuck up, he has the option to go back home. If I fuck up, TD Bank, here I come. Yo, Steve, move over, man. Other side.
Oh boy.
So, yeah. So,
I'm laughing at myself. Like, God forbid, if I was ever in that predicament, I'm calling in every favor that I never ask anybody. I really don't ask people for much. I feel like I'm always asking something, but I don't ask for shit.
all right, man. So, what you want to say before we wrap it up?
That's about it. There were, despite everything said, like there was a lot of moments I personally enjoyed.
Yeah, there are fun moments.
It's like, especially certain clips. It's like, yo, look at this funny shit. I'm gonna share that.
Yeah.
That's really it. You know, I didn't think it. It's funny when you called me and you said all that. I didn't really see it coming. It was kind of random.
Yeah, but come on, you had to see it ending eventually.
Huh?
You didn't see it ending eventually?
Ending eventually?
Yeah, like you didn't. Well, not eventually, but do you saw it picking up any traffic worth pushing and putting energy behind it?
My honest answer?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was even trying to make adjustments like personally to get more into it and like see what more I could add into it.
Mm-hmm.
Like strong partially because like you spoke on it a lot, the shit that you disliked or
Yeah.
you talked about aspects of how we could build on things
Mm-hmm.
better and also shit you said like years ago was still in my mind. So it's like I was ready to make those adjustments, but then I slowly realized it wasn't just me, you know, it's other like two other people.
Yeah,
It's not just me. And certain synergy has to be in place for the conversation to be worth listening to as a viewer. And yeah, man, like there's a lot of shit I wasn't an expert on, don't know about, don't follow, that other people had a strong contribution towards. So like I wasn't in summation of everything I'm saying, I wasn't the glue to hold all that shit together. I was a piece of the puzzle, but like I wasn't the glue to keep things, you know, in order.
Yeah.
So like no matter if I feel like if I was doing things perfectly,
Yeah, still gonna work.
won't work.
So everything has to work consistently and as a glue and as things together. Because it's people that you know everything.
Yeah, man. Like,
and I feel like having the four of us all together made it easier for every other person. Because every other person can talk about what they needed to talk about, and not feel like, oh, I talk something about I'm not that comfortable with. Everybody talk about their lanes, and it helped me because I didn't feel like I had to put myself out there so much. Like when because everybody was holding back, because I can't say this, I can't say that, so that almost like forced me to like be wilder.
Nah, one of the reasons I used to hold back is because you used to cut on me for not knowing about shit. Like, y'all bring up shit and I don't know about it. I just stay quiet, like, bro, like, fuck you want me to say some dumb shit? Like,
yeah, it's better than something dumb. It's entertainment at the end of the day. Like, you can clap back. Spike claps back. I don't say shit.
oh, man.
Spike be telling me, yo, man, I want to say something too, man. That's why I'm here. To say my voice, my opinion. I'd be like, all right, Spike, go ahead, Junior, speak up. But, yeah. I don't know. Can it come back? Maybe in the future, whenever it's like, yo, I really want to do it, blah, 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 we're all better financially. We're all, like, more in our whatever we want to do. Some of the personal issues between people in the group is worked out.
You gotta throw subs.
I'm being honest. That's true.
That's a sub, man.
I can say directly. You want me
Whatever you say after what you just said, it doesn't matter. That was a sub.
No, how? It's
like,
honest.
Fuck your sub. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about.
With some of the personal issues, I have personal issues with people in the group. I don't think that's a sub. A sub for like an insult.
Nah, sub doesn't have to be an insult.
Oh, it doesn't?
It could be alluding to something.
Indirectly.
Indirectly.
No, indirectly. I'm directly have issues with people. Me and Kuma are not on the same page. So, yeah, man, the Backstreet Boys are breaking up. Sorry, guys. For those of you who cared, I'm sorry.
This was longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah, I know. What happened to the timer?
Oh, man.
All right, I'm out. Bye.
Suzuki